What's going on, Raider Nation? It is JT coming at you with another episode of the RaiderCast pre-game show. I'm here with NJ Raider Nation again. Today we should have webcam, so hopefully you guys can see us. But very excited. It's week 4 going into a hopefully good game against the AFC West rival, the Broncos, the Denver Broncos, who have not looked good recently. So NJ, what are your thoughts going into this this game after the disappointing loss in Tennessee?
Um, yeah, I would say I would start off with our teams just kind of got to figure out what works for them. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Q, but I like the way he said it. He said it seems like our team's just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And I think that's a really good way of describing what's going on pretty much both sides of the ball. But I think I think this is a game that we really should win. I think, we beat the Broncos on pretty much every part of the game. So, and they're coming to Vegas, and the Broncos have not been good playing the Raiders away. So, yeah, I just think we really, hopefully, 3 games in, figured something out, figured kind of what works, and just stick with it.
Yeah. The last 4 games actually where the Raiders played the Broncos at home have been wins for the Raiders, dating all the way. Well, I can't confirm before 2018 because I don't remember that game, but the 2018 Christmas Eve domination of the Broncos, that was awesome to see in 2018. So it goes all the way back to that era. But the Broncos we've been pretty much owning the Broncos since 2018. They haven't done anything. They haven't had good quarterbacks. They haven't had good coaching, stuff like that. They still have a good defense right now. They might have a quarterback that's, Russell Wilson's definitely better than Drew Lock, so they have at least a quarterback that's better than Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, or Joe Flacco right now. So it's definitely a different team. Obviously, they have a different head coach. They have a different style of offense. But the way they've been playing so far has been extremely lackluster. They have the lowest points in wins. Their past 2 wins, and 13.5 they've been averaging in a win, which is absolutely insane that they're winning with 13.5 points in 2 games, or at least the average. So that just goes to show how good the defense is right now. So if there is a part of the Broncos that worries you, for me, it's definitely the defense. Are you with me on saying that the defense is their best part, or is it the run game, or is it something else?
Yeah, I would probably agree. I think their run game is really good, but it's not utilized as well as it could be. But yeah, thinking about everything else, passing, I'm really not worried too much about that. And yeah, so I would agree with the defense as being as the worst, or the I guess most intimidating part of the Broncos.
Yeah, and with how the offense has been up and down, just overall, just the entire offense been so up and down, it's definitely worrying going into that defense, just because, if the Broncos start getting Carr's number, Carr can have those games where if he gets hit early, not hit early, but once he gets in his own head, and it's very frustrating sometimes, he'll start faltering during the game. But as long as they have a solid first drive and they keep having solid drives, I think we should be fine on offense. If we get it clicking just on all cylinders, if we can start doing the run, if we can start incorporating the pass a bit better, to certain players like Devontae Adams, then I think our offense should do just fine against their defense, because the wins that they got were the Texans and the San Francisco 49ers, who don't have good offenses.
Yeah. I if we get into a rhythm on offense, we should have no problem doing what we do, because we have a good running back room, we have good wide receivers, we should be able to spread the ball out. I'm a huge Carr fan, but I feel like one thing that he's lacking in this year that he has always, I think, been really good at is, I think, is just leadership in general. Something about it. I don't know if you've noticed anything, and you could tell me what you think, but I've been noticing on either interceptions or bad passes, or taking a sack or something, he gets really internally frustrated.
Yep.
And so when I see that, like, when I see that, it's it makes me think like he's really looking at everything in more of an individualistic way versus, it's like a team. Because in
Yeah.
the past, he's always been super like, pumping up the his teammates, and like he's always trying to be close with the line. But I really haven't seen that too much. And so
Mhm.
I'm hoping that going forward, he kind of his leadership starts showing again, because I think that's one of the things that made him really good, and who he is as a football player. But that's something that I feel like has been lacking, but I could be wrong.
I mean, yeah, we don't get to see too much of the sideline and what's going on there. But
Mhm.
like on the field, it's definitely like he's definitely vocal about like telling receivers like, hey, you got to do that right, or you got to do this right, or like, telling the like, you got to cover my back, you really got to step up and do better. And I haven't seen that too much personally as well. Not saying it doesn't happen, but maybe it's just because of the rotating O line, he doesn't have that connection between really any of them, because it's only Miller that's really been playing with him consistently over the past 4 years. So having basically a new O line every week is not helping him be confident in the pocket, I think.
That's a good point, and I was thinking about that, and but it's almost like, if you have a group of friends that you hang out with, and then you have another group of friends that you hang out with, and
Mm,
you bring one of the friends from the other group to the other core group,
yeah.
you start acting a little different. It's almost like Adams comes over, and Carr's like,
Yeah.
acting different. But that's more so a joke. But I do agree, the O line switching
Hmm.
around. That probably does have a big play in that. But I
Yeah.
just think his frustration has been showing a lot more than he normally is. He's a very like controlled person
Hmm.
usually. So it's weird seeing, that on-field frustration. I'm just not used to that. But um
Yeah, I think it might be just because he's not super, I guess, just not super confident. And when he makes a mistake, he's like just frustrated because he's like, I should be able to do this, but I can't, and I don't know why. It could be a scheme thing, it could be not trusting the O line, it could be not wanting to disappoint Adams. It could be any of those things. But yeah, that's something that I think if I think that could change this game. I think that the for some reason, no matter how good the Broncos defense is, we usually do well against it. So I think if he just plays how he's been playing the past like 4 years against the Broncos, we should have no problem beating them. And that'll be like he needs a confident game, a confidence booster game where he gets like, over 300 yards, gets 3 touchdowns finally for the first time in like 2 years. If he can do that and limit to only like one turnover at most, one turnover, like a fumble or an interception, I think we could see a lot more confident Carr going forward into the Chiefs game, which based on the fact that they just lost to the Colts is definitely a winnable game. But looking one game at a time, because I don't want to go too far ahead right now, because at
mhm.
this point we can only look one game at a time with this team. Overall, I definitely think it's winnable, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Our defense hasn't been spectacular, but they've done enough to help us win games. They've kept the games close to the very end. They've been one score, so that just shows like the defense is able to hold on when needed. They've gotten some turnovers. Sacks are not there. I mean, 2 interceptions isn't great overall as a team, but it's something. It's there. But like the sacks need to come from the D line for sure, especially against a QB like Russell Wilson.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think Derek Carr is understanding Josh McDaniel's way of play?
Yes, but he's not like super confident in it yet, because it took him like the 2018 year with Gruden, like that was painful to watch. Like that
Mhm.
was very. I mean, he didn't have wide receiver weapons, so that's also another thing. He had Jordan Nelson. He was throwing to Jordan Nelson basically. That's it. Um, but yeah, I think he's just not quite comfortable yet because of the rotating O line, because of the new system. Uh, and I think he's like second guessing himself, and it's and not his typical style of play, because I guess he's not audibling or so. I don't look. I don't know what the play calling thing is about, like him not being able to audible, or it has to go to a certain player. I doubt it's a one read system. I don't think that McDaniel's would put a one read system with a QB as smart as Carr. His Carr is a really smart QB. He doesn't always make the right plays, but he knows how to play football pretty well. He understands defenses. He knows where to put the ball. So the fact that people are saying that McDaniels is telling him to only go to one player, I'm not sure that's the case. I think it's just a confidence thing that he's looking in. When he does look for reads, he gets kind of a statue. He gets frozen because he's like, trying to look too much. And then he gets, sacked like in the Chargers game. So I think they went to a 1-2 read offense because of that, to eliminate that, to build his confidence going forward, because they don't want to overwhelm him in games. Like, you don't want to overwhelm your quarterback, like your new quarterback, with a bunch of like crazy routes and then him not being able to find his reads and then just having to throw it away, getting sacked or throwing a pick. So I think that's pretty much what's happening. That's just my analysis, my casual take analysis.
Yeah, because Josh McDaniels coming from the Patriots and
Mhm.
coach, being the OC for over Tom Brady for so long. I gotta imagine that his system's got to be so complicated. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got to be so in depth. Like,
Oh, definitely.
it's not like he's a first time offensive coordinator, first time,
Mhm.
scheming up plays. But like, yeah, of course, Carr's very smart. But I just feel like that playbook's got to be super. It's just got to be definitely overwhelming.
Oh,
And,
definitely.
we're 3 games in and we're 0-3, and everyone's complaining about like play calling and
Mhm.
some on-field decisions. And I kind of feel like I'm kind of leaning towards just the general mix of everything is just not where it should be yet.
Yeah, I definitely. So people are calling that McDaniel's play calling is bad or Patrick Graham's play calling is bad, and I'm not sure it's that. I think it's that the players aren't there yet in the system to be executing at a perfect level, because McDaniel's offense is a tough offense to learn. That's why they go for, as they said in the pre-draft process, smart players. They want football players. They want people that love football. Not only do they want the talent, they want players that can like get their playbook and understand it. Mac Hollins is excelling in this thing because he's played in it before. If he didn't play in it before, he would be struggling right now just as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams has pretty much, I would say, got it. Not obviously fully, because you can't, but he's a really smart football player. And I think because Carr is coming from a slightly different scheme after like 3 years of the same scheme, 4 years of the same scheme, he's struggling to pick it back up. And like players on the defense have gone through what, like 4D coordinators in 4 years. They had Paul Gunther, they had interim, then they had Bradley, now they have Graham. So that's like four coordinators in 5 years, or I don't even know, whatever. But they've gone through a lot. They all these, especially like Crosby, has been through like 4 defensive coordinators. So it's different schemes all the time. And these players, like the rookies coming in or like the vets coming into a different scheme, they're just not quite there with the cohesion. Like the play calling is right, but they're not executing, or the play calling wrong and the players are not executing. It's just the cohesion of the team
Yeah.
isn't there
Yeah.
enough. But once we get once we get it all put together for one full game, we're gonna light up a team. Oh, I hit my
Yeah.
mic, but we're gonna light up a team.
100%. And I think that's the thing. We could have got everything together and going the first week, could have versus the Chargers. We could have got everything
Mhm.
going the second week versus the Cardinals, or last week versus the Titans, or hopefully this week versus the Broncos, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of, if someone was to ask me, on the street, what's up with the Raiders, I would say they just don't have everything together right now. But
Yeah.
when they do, it's all the pieces are there. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all the
Absolutely.
pieces. If we didn't have any good wide receivers, you'd be like, oh yeah, we could be really good. We just need a couple wide receivers. Like everything's there. We just
Hmm.
kind of got to gel. And in normal situations, that could be like a year or two. Like it
Yep.
takes a long time for teams to get together, especially when you get new coaches and stuff. But
Hmm.
because of how high the demand is for the Raiders to do well,
Hmm.
Mark Davis is pushing Josh McDaniels, all
Oh
that.
yeah.
I think they're going to speed it up,
They
and
have to.
it's going to come at any point. Like it's going to come either this
Mm-hmm.
week, next week. And when it does, like you said, I mean, we will just destroy the team and everyone's going to be like, oh, that's what we expected the Raiders to be. And I think from that point on, it should be, I think we'll be
Better.
fine then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not even that panicky that we're 0-3 because, say this week is the week we turn it around. I mean, I expect to win probably 10 of the next what would that be? 14 games.
Next, yeah, 10, next 14, yeah.
I
Yeah,
just expect us to be so good after that point of us understanding what we need to do.
yeah, yeah. The only reason why me personally I'm panicky at being 0-3 or just like really worried is because if they don't pick it up soon, like if they don't get the Broncos game, like I don't really think we can beat the Chiefs. Like if we can't beat the Broncos, we're not beating the Chiefs, and that means I'm pretty confident in saying that. Like if we don't beat the Broncos, even if we put it together against the Chiefs, Chiefs are still a really good team. They still have that power. I mean, they just lost to the Colts, which is why I don't want to look too far ahead because they could be on and off. But the Chiefs have had our number, 8 times in the last 9 years or whatever they beat us. Like we've only beat them once in the past, like forever. So if we can't put it together against the Broncos, who are very weak offensively and still strong defensively, but if we can't put it together against them, then I'm definitely, I look at us going 0-5 into the bye week, and then we have to win out in order to make the playoffs at that point.
Yeah. And I say we're 0-3 and I'm not panicky, but of course, that's
Yeah.
not a way to start any season. But a little for the future, the Chiefs game, I can't wait to talk about that game. I mean, I
That's gonna be
love
good.
Chiefs week. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. And Sunday Night Football,
Mhm.
I'm really
Is it
excited.
Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football?
I thought it was Sunday night, but then I heard someone say Monday night, and I was like, oh, they're wrong. But you know what? Now that you're saying it, maybe it is Monday night.
Let me look that up quick. But yeah, I mean, just we gotta win versus the Broncos. That's basically all I gotta say. Yeah, it's a Monday night game.
Okay.
Is it Monday night? It doesn't say. Is it Monday Night Football? Jesus, it says 8:15, but that could also mean Sunday night. That's not.
Yeah. What's the date?
Yeah, Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
So, well, even better.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Monday
only
Night
one
Football is
game
always
on the
good.
whole day. So,
But yeah,
yeah.
but yeah. I mean, basically, to sum it up, this is the game we need to get cooking. This is the game. Even if we go 1-4 into the bye week, we know what our team can do. Because right now, the Raider Nation is very much appropriately not confident in this team to put it together because last year, even despite the the talent lack, we put games away. We are able to finish games. This year, we cannot finish games. Either the offense struggles completely with turnovers week 1, and the defense does not enough to get turnovers or sacks. Week 2, the offense and the defense are humming in the first half and then fall apart in the second half just totally. Week 3, the defense starts awful, but picks it up in the second half to prevent 0 points from being scored, but the offense can't score in the red zone. So it's just a bunch of issues of a first year of a coach team or new system team
They
that
gotta
need
play
to
full
be, if
games.
they can get all those issues and push them out and just conglomerate it into all the positives into this game, we should be able to blow the Broncos out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they got to be able to play full games, right?
Yeah.
Because if you took quarters from individual games, then we would have an incredible game if you just picked 4 of the quarters of the 12 that we've played. We just got to play a full game.
Yeah. All right. That's all I have to say on the Broncos game. I'm excited because I definitely want us to win. I definitely want to see us put it all together. And even if we only win by a field goal, I will take it. I just want to see a win, a W in the win column. I just want to see that there. But don't forget to subscribe to NJ Raider Nation. I'm going to put his channel down in the description. Again, follow him on Twitter, NJ Raider Nation 0. Don't forget to like and subscribe here as well. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, Raider Nation.